What up, all my vending bro and broettes? It's your boy Bang Ring at it again. It's been a long day off, day on, which we call a day off in this world, right? Because we do the side hustles on our day off, so we work all day on our days off. That's how we get something done, right? Remember, the only way that you're gonna escape out of that bird cage is if you work as hard as you do inside on the outside. Think about that. Because I know I work my ass off on the inside, and I think to myself, I'm like, oh my God, is that one day's worth of work? Because I'm pretty sure I worked the strength of 40 men. I just worked a week's worth of work in one day, and I got to come back and do it all over again. If I could only apply that much work, that much working power, purchasing power, working power, right? On my side hustles, on my day off, just up and go and zoom nonstop, full blast, 60 miles an hour. Let's go the whole time until it's over, until I clock out, right? Oh my God, where would I be? Where would my empire be? You know, I'm trying to open up. This is my third eye. This is my mannerism for my third eye, right? I'm trying to open up my third eye. So it's like I'm listening to podcasts in traffic. I'm listening to audiobooks in traffic wherever I go, in between, right? Because 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, right? The whole grind. Try to be actively doing something. I don't care if it's Kegel exercises when you're sitting in your car in traffic, to listening about real estate, or, you know, learning about an audiobook, you know, of any sort, just to try to lift this up, right, in any and every direction. Okay, it's been a long day, and mainly it's been driving and maybe poor decision making on my part, so you could probably learn from me. But my day started off where I was actually going to, I don't know, just not do anything and play, since I've worked 6 days in a row. And I was like, okay, well, I can't do that, because if I do that, I know I'm for sure going back to this birdcage tomorrow. And of course I'm going back tomorrow, but theoretically speaking, I'm like, hey, I got to work on stuff, or stuff is never going to get worked on, right? So as soon as I left my house, I pulled over to the side and I decided to make some phone calls on some leads. And this barbershop, you know, first place I called, they were like, you know, the other owner picked up and was like, yeah, you know what, I'm not opposed to you setting up your shop here. You know, if you want to come in today and set it up. And I was like, bingo, bango, bongo, let's go, baby, let's do this. So I grabbed my candy machine that I just got, that was sitting in my room staring at me for the last couple of days, saying, hey, I need a home. I'm homeless. This is not my home. I don't sit in your room, because if I sit in your room, I don't generate any cash flow. I don't make any money. I don't make any passive income for you. So I was like, okay, cool. So I look up directions and I was like, eek. This place is like, it said 15 miles and then it said like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden I started driving through the safari on the side of a mountain, and I was like, where am I going? Where is this place at? I mean, I literally had to go through this mystic lost village of mountain, which was beautiful, by the way. I mean, I took the most scenic route I've driven in ages. I didn't even know my backyard, you know, here in California, Orange County, could be so beautiful. But it was a great, like, scenic drive. The problem was, I kept thinking, am I realistically going to drive all the way out here to check on this candy machine? I'm like, oh my God, you know, listen, I'm think big, grow big, but I mean, at one point I have to be realistic. And when it comes down to math, I got to say, hey, I can't drive 45 minutes one direction and 45 another and think that I'm actually going to turn a profit on something when the margins are so little to begin with, right? So it's like, I there was a, place for me to restock one candy. So I was just like, okay, it was like out in like Chino Hills. I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And then I drove out there. And then I started realizing that it was much farther than I really realistically could go. So I got to the place, I started looking in. It was like a barber shop in some random hole in the wall in like Chino Hills. And I was like, man, this place looks dead. And I don't want to be negative, and that's not what I have in mind. I want to give every place a chance. And it was like a traditional barber shop. It wasn't some dude's studio on the 3rd floor that was like, hey, I'm a barber now, come to my house and get a haircut. It wasn't like that, so it totally was fair to set it up. I mean, and on my part, so far, I mean, I should have already given the dude a courtesy call and say, hey, you know what, I think it's out of my range. I think I'm gonna have to pass on your location for now. At least let him know, because the guy thought I was coming and then I don't show up. That's not good business. I don't want to be that guy, Flaky McGee. Oh, the candy guy said he was gonna come, he never came. Who wants to work with that guy? I don't want to work with that guy. Do you? No one does. I get impatient when I'm waiting for someone. I was trying to buy a candy machine the other day, and the guy's like, oh, I'll be there in a minute. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes go by. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, oh, I'll be right there. And then all of a sudden, I'm waiting there for 30 minutes, and I left. And then the guy started calling me. He's like, where you at? I was walking right out. And just kept blowing up my phone. I was thinking, and I didn't even want to talk to him. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. I waited like 30 minutes for you to just kind of string me along, and then you never show up. That's not cool. I don't want to do business like that. And I don't want to be that guy. And I am guilty of being that guy. And I think just a little bit more, being more courteous, being a little bit more apparent and about my actions and my time frames, and just trying to be a little bit more accurate and courteous of other people's time, I think will go a long way. I know my brother's big on that, and I think that's just how we all should be. I don't want to be a hypocrite and on the other side be upset when it happens to me, and then be okay with it when I'm the guy that's doing it. So it's definitely something that I need to work on. I can still give the guy a courtesy call, maybe if the shop closed, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Anyways, listen, there's a ton of traffic. This was before traffic. I decided to opt out, is what I'm trying to get at. I didn't go to the spot. I went to the spot. I drove all the way to the spot, and then got cold feet in the parking lot and said, oh, I'm gonna pass. And so I passed. And then I drove all the way back down here. I went to HB because I was starving, and then I ate, and I was like, dude, I gotta get rid of this candy machine. I don't want to go all the way home with it. I gotta find another home. So I just started calling leads. I had one pizza place up towards Long Beach that said, bring in the machine, see if it'll fit. And to me, that's like a yes pending. And I get to this place after driving in traffic for another 55 minutes, and it like opens at 5. It seems like it's only open like 4 days a week. There's like 3 workers. Guy's like, hey, we don't really get much people in here. You might want to try back in a couple months, like summertime when it's more busy. And I was like, yikes. And I could tell that the place was effing dead. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, this thing's going to sit here and rot, and I'm not going to get any action. And once again, I do not want to be pessimistic. I want to give it a chance. Anything has a better chance than it making money, sitting in my room. But so strike number 2, I passed on the location, and I end up going to another spot that already said that I can set up location here. The only stipulation was that he wants half. So I'm giving him half of the profit. He's going to get half. And so I just set it up right now after driving another 40 minutes in traffic. I mean, I spent all day driving around the world. And, at least now I can say I have a candy machine set up. Costino's Pizza here in old stomping grounds, Mission Viejo, the heart of it all. Okay? This is where it went down. All right? I grew up, born and raised, right down the street. went to grade school a mile and a half that way, high school straight over there a couple miles. Best friends live down the street right here. I lived over here. I lived over here. All right, this is the home. This is the heart of the home. I almost want to do like a whole reminiscing and drive to the homie's house and just say, yo, it's old team money from back in the day. How's everyone living? I want to go drive by my old house, my old schools. I want to say what up to everyone in the neighborhood. But instead, I'm just going to show you this candy machine, and that's going to be a wrap on this video. So, here we are at the pizza parlor. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Part of the walkway. We do have a green on black. Supposed to go to that haircut shop. That lady wanted a green on black triple candy. Never heard back from her. If I do, I definitely will get her another one of these. They are back in stock, fortunately. I have been kind of slacking on the quarter stickers. I wasn't sure if I liked them or not, but I mean, I think they're pretty cool. And I think I'm going to try to be a little bit more, active on using them. But the thing is, when you have a sticker, it's like, where are you going to put it now? You're going to put it right here? Right below it? Because I don't know if it looks as good. So if that wasn't there, you could put the sticker right there, right? And now I thought the next cleanest spot was down here if these stickers are going to be there. So that's why, I don't know, what do you think? We're doing the Skittles peanut M&Ms, and one of my new favorites, the Starburst jelly beans, which I think is going to be a big hit. So we definitely need to track and see how sales are going to be for that one. So that is it. That's the spot. So hopefully we get some kid traffic over here. We got high schools, we got schools right here all over. This guy in here, these kids seem cool. They said they said it's been busy, they've been getting some rushes and stuff like that. So what's the worst that happens, right? We try it out for a couple months, it doesn't work out, we relocate their location. Speaking of which, I did recently check on a couple locations, but remember what we found out, there's always something to find out, right? That's the whole thing. So we got to go check on these other locations, make sure they're active, make sure they're working, making sure they look clean and appropriate, and making sure ultimately that they're making money, right? Because if not, they need to get relocated. Thank God I checked on that outdoor auto mechanic shop that had oil spilling all over it, a bunch of junk all over it, right? Piling up in the corner, and then all the candy looking all faded, making no money. And then all of a sudden, I completely clean out the machine. I scrap the losses. I dump out all the candy and gumballs, right? I clean it, I detail it, I polish it back up, and I find it a new home that same instantaneous moment. And I relocate it to a pizza place, brand new machine, fresh candy, hot new location, and now it's generating money. And if I didn't do that, it'd still be sitting there collecting oil and not quarters. So next video's definitely going to make a point to go check on the locations. The nice thing is, like I said, I've been detailing notes on when I check on the locations, and then little reminders of what's going on, if anything needs to be, notated. So it's coming up. Anyways, this is, I want to say, number 17, going to 100. And to be honest with you, I want to go to 200. I had a revelation, and I'm starting to grow this team into just me, because I'm thinking the point isn't about like saving money. The point is getting to 100. And the fastest way possible. And so for me to do that, I feel like I need a team. I need a team of people to call for me and to get locations. And if anything, I want to grow into the point where maybe I have people setting up the locations for me. Why am I making all the phone calls? Why am I setting up all the machines? I'm supposed to be the guy behind the guy, right? And at the end of the day, once everything starts generating money, it will eventually pay for itself. If I paid someone to find me a location, okay, well, if I gave him 50, 75, $100, well, then that location just has to make 50, 75, $100 before I start making that profit, right? Which is fine because we're in it for the long haul, right? Fortunately, I'm in good standing. Let's pretend I have all the money in the world, right? I have a good income, cash flowing job, so I can afford to spend money on this business, to get it set up, to rev it up, to get locations faster. What's more important, time or saving money, right? It's time. Eventually, if you think about it, if I spend all this money on people helping me out, after a year, it's all going to pay for itself. And then all of a sudden, it's a one-time fee, and now all the machines are making me money. Well, if I got 100 machines set up, I'm making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 every month. That's going to pay. That's going to pay for all that help that I just got. And guess what? Now I have 100 machines versus, oh, I don't want to pay anyone to help me out. I'll do it all myself to save the money. But guess what? Here I am. I spent my whole day off driving around the world to set up one location. I'm sitting in traffic calling all those locations to try to generate new leads, right? And I'm thinking maybe my time could be better spent as in managing and not being the worker, right? Being the owner and the manager and not the worker. So we'll talk more about that later. Anyways, it's good stuff though. It's good stuff. All right, we got something done. Inch by inch, we get something done, and maybe one day I won't be working 6 days a week from 3 to midnight. Freedom o'clock. That's what this is all about.